Good morning, grade 2. I'm going to show you today how to draw a mighty knight. So you're going to need a piece of white paper. It can be just a piece of computer paper, or if you've got a sketchbook at home, you can also draw in there. You're going to need a pencil and a permanent marker pen perhaps, and then some pencil crayons or whatever you want to color in with. So to start off with, we're going to draw the helmet of our knight, and that is just like an upside down U or up. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I need to draw a little bit firmer on my white paper. There we go. You're going to draw an upside down shape, and that is going to be the helmet of your knight. After you've done that, we're going to just draw a slopey line bent like that, and that's for the shoulders and the top of the body. And then when I think of a knight's body, I almost think of my coffee pot, the way it slopes into the tummy and out again, almost like a skirt. So we're going to try and draw that shape, and we're going to come from the edges of those shoulders. We're going to draw it down into the waist, almost like an upside down triangle, but it doesn't come to a point. And then we're going to give our knight a nice, like a belt structure. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go out again, like a skirt. Okay, and then we're going to join it up. You don't need to use a ruler. You can use your hand. And after that, you can put his legs in. And from the legs, obviously everything's very stiff. You can also just put the feet in. So we know that they wore armor, so it was very rigid and hard and didn't move and bend easily. So even the arms are going to be quite firm. So we're going to go to the elbow, straight line, and then down to the hand. And again, make it a double line to the elbow and then to the hand. And then on this side, if you want to, he can be maybe holding a shield. So let's draw a shield with a curved line and let it go down to a point, and another curved line and down to a point. On the front of your helmet, you can do like an oval shape, and we can make some nice ridges. That's where they would speak through, and then they often had a feather or a plume that comes out at the back of the helmet, and we'll just draw that in as well. And now we've just got to do the other arm, and then we're ready to cover it in permanent marker pen and color it in. So the other arm is going to come down, and maybe in this arm, maybe I'll just have this arm going straight down, and this arm he can maybe hold a sword. And a sword, we just do a long part of the sword with a little handle, and then a little part of the sword coming out. And then maybe you can see his hands covering it a little bit there. So that is going to be our knight. So let's color it in. You can start off with using a permanent marker pen, and I'm just going to quickly go over it in permanent marker pen so that it will stand out a little bit more. And once you've done the permanent marker pen, you can color it in. So we know that mostly armor was kind of a silvery gray color. So you may use pencil crayons, Kokies, crayons, pastels, whatever you've got at home, you can use. I've got pencil crayons that I'm going to use today. And obviously, mostly the gray colors are the ones that you're going to need. But you might want to maybe use a red or a colorful color for that plume or feather that comes out of his helmet. And then the shield as well, you can decide. So there I've outlined him in my black. And I haven't outlined the sword yet, so let me just try and do that. And then, if I've gone over, if I haven't done it gone over it clearly, I can just rub out those extra pencil lines. Okay, so now we're going to color it in grey and pencil crayon. I'm going to use pencil crayons, but don't just draw wishy-washy. Try and press nice and firmly with your greys so that you don't see a lot of the white paper showing through. And remember, his arm is very chunky and solid. I'm not going to see white paper showing through. So you're going to shade in in his armor. If you're lucky enough to have different shades of grey at home, like different pencil crayons of greys, you can maybe try, or even a black pencil crayon works quite well as well. So I think I might use a black for the middle of his waist line. And then I'm going to do the bottom part of his outfit. Yeah, you might think I've perhaps gone out a little bit too wide with this bottom. If you want it to be sort of narrower against his legs, then you can make it narrower. And if you press firmly, you'll find your pencil crayons go blunt quite quickly. And then we're going to choose, I'm going to choose, see if this is a different grey, and it is, yes. So look, I've got a different grey for his arms, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Although you can't really see it actually when you look in the video, it doesn't look like it's come out a different grey. And then I'm going to do the leg part. So he's very, very, very solid. I'm colouring in quite quickly, but you can take your time and go carefully, and obviously try and stay in the lines, and do his legs as well. And then we're going to do the helmet and the sword. So mostly everything's jolly grey, but let's make his flag, the feather, the plume that comes out of his helmet. Let's maybe give it a nice bright colourful colour. And again, you can decide on your shield. Maybe you want his shield to match that, to maybe be red, or if you want to do a design or a pattern or something onto his shield, you can. I'm just going to do it one solid colour, but I'll leave it up to you to use your creativity for however you want to do your shield. I might actually just colour it in this bright colour, and then maybe with my black permanent marker pen make a pattern into it. So let's see. So I'm going to colour in his shield. There we go. And what I'll do now with my permanent marker pen is maybe I'll just go and make another line inside that line, and then another line inside that line, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then let's finish his helmet. And there we have our knight. It's up to you if you want to do the background, boys. You can use your colouring in materials. If you have watercolour paint, you can use that as well. And let me just finish doing the sword this way, so it's probably a bit easier to press on my table. Well, it seems like my sword's a bit wobbly, but that's okay. So there we go. There we have our knight. And I've actually got some watercolour paint here. If you have some at home, you can use it. But as I say, you can also use whatever colouring materials you have. And I'm going to start off with doing a bit of a sky colour behind him. And I'll hold it upright so you can see what I'm doing. There we've got the sky behind our knight. And then perhaps as we go further down, I'll move into greens. And there we go. We will have finished our mighty knight. There you go. And then from there, let's go into greens. And if you've got different shades of greens, you can use different shades of greens. Maybe even if you wanted to go on into sort of mustardy yellows, if there's like a dirt road or something that he's standing on, you can go from the greens even to another colour. And as I say, don't worry if you don't have any paints at home. You just use whatever art materials you have. I've got like a mustardy colour, or it's actually quite a bright colour. So go from there, and then maybe there's a mustard and a brown. And then I can put a little bit of that in here as well. Maybe I'll even just put a little bit of a warm touch, a little bit of orangey warm touch in there. just to reflect the shield. There we go, boys. Have fun with your night, and I will chat to you next week. Bye.